Absolutely. It's the talent. It's the talent.
It's always the talent.
It takes so much time.
And have a great show.
Thank you.
I gave you guys a shout out, so I hope you pack it in.
Thank
you. Saturday night.
Thank you.
You too. Enjoy the rest.
Thank you.
You just waiting for one more?
Hugs first.
We just need this.
Welcome to Full Heart Living Live, the boot camp experience.
Woo!
My name's Tom Glazer. I'm a psychologist and life coach with 30 years experience, and I wrote a book called Full Heart Living, Conversations with the Happiest People I Know. Happiness is not something that is passive. In fact, it's quite active. It's a result of decisions, choices that we make, activities and experiences that we have. So we wanted to kind of replicate that for you here tonight. So there will be, now don't worry, no one's going to be called up on stage, you're not going to be made a fool of yourself. There will be opportunities, however, if you like, it's completely optional, but if you like from your place to participate as we go along, and we'll give you clear directions. So just from where you are, if you like, again, it's completely optional and voluntary, you can take part in these activities.
Hey, Sarah, can we have the house lights on?
Much better.
Thank you. This isn't one of those sit in the dark kind of shows.
Actually, this isn't one of those just sit kind of shows.
With that in mind, we're going to start with some stretching.
If you're able, please stand up now. Start with something gentle like twisting at the waist.
If you're sitting, try putting your arms out in front of you and then up above your head. Gently roll your head and loosen up that neck.
Folks in the front, you might want to stand up. Try to touch your toes. Those of you in the back, just raise your hands as high above your head as you possibly can and feel your spine stretch out.
Now go ahead and shake it up.
Seated, standing, whatever. Shake. Awesome. If you feel anything tight, stretch it now. Otherwise, when you're ready, take a seat.
You may be wondering why we're stretching in a show that's about how to be happier.
Well, the truth is, a healthy foundation is a key to a happier life. That's the simple answer.
The more complex answer has to do with how inflammation builds up in our system and how exercise prompts the body to begin a cycle of repair and growth.
But not just exercise. Good food, committed and caring relationships, meaningful work, having fun. All of these provide the antidote to the inflammatory part of the cycle, created for the foundation of health and for full heart living.
So now that we have a healthy foundation, what do we use to build on it?
The degree with which we are engaged directly contributes to the happiness we have in our lives. How tuned are you to your surroundings? Ultimately, that steers my personal happiness. The level of engagement. It's very easy to become unaware because there is Facebook, Pokemon Go, petty things. Maybe there's someone driving slow in front of you on the way to the Fringe Festival, and you can miss some things.
Being tuned in means being fully aware of your surroundings. It's an almost impossible thing to be at 100%, but as we increase our level of engagement with the things around us, suddenly we become happier.
When I'm fully in the here and now, I'm not thinking about, I shouldn't have said that yesterday, or what am I going to say tomorrow? I'm just thinking that I'm here with you and letting that be okay.
Sounds like you're talking about mindfulness.
Ah, mindfulness. I think meditation is one way of cultivating mindfulness.
That bell goes on forever.
I shouldn't have said those things earlier today.
Paul is just indestructible.
I'm clearly better at this than everyone else.
I hope I got this right.
My nose itches. Is it okay to scratch it?
Okay, now I'm squinting.
I feel like it's almost Monday.
I want ice cream.
It's hot up here.
Don't squint, don't squint, don't squint.
Justin Timberlake is so hot.
Well, that was relaxing.
Yeah, I don't think I'm very good at it.
You know, guys, it's not really a matter of being good at it or not. It's more like being willing to keep trying again. That's all. If you're willing to keep trying again, you're doing it right. Let's try it together.
If you'd like to, you're welcome to join us in meditation. This is just one way of practicing mindfulness, of course, but it's simple and effective. When you hear the chimes, close your eyes and just sit.
Are you ready?
Breathe in on the word let, breathe out with the word go.
Focus on the soft light.
Your mind will wander. That's what minds do. When you notice it, gently bring your attention back to your breath.
Thank you. If you'd like to try this at home, we recommend setting a timer for 2 to 3 minutes to start. There are more helpful tips in your participants guide. Okay, so what's next?
Good question. We just use meditation as one technique for cultivating mindfulness. Think of mindfulness as building blocks you use on top of your foundation. Once you start noticing, really noticing what's going on around you, it's amazing. The sky's the limit.
Through mindfulness, you can connect with yourself. And really, that's the first step toward connecting with anything or anyone else.
There are so many ways to connect with yourself. Once you've incorporated some basic mindfulness practices into your life, it could be anything, really. Like,
I feel most connected with myself when I wake up in the morning.
I feel most connected to myself when I'm singing.
I feel most connected to myself when I'm creating.
I feel most connected to myself when I'm having a big old belly laugh.
I feel most connected to myself when I'm in community.
Perfect. Shall we move on? Connecting with yourself helps you to support yourself, which is another key element in living with your full heart. Let's say Erica has a job interview,
I have a job interview.
but she's scared out of her mind. She's considering not going with a stomachache and the shakes and that mean little voice in her head.
You can't do it. You'll make a fool of yourself. You don't deserve that job.
Part of supporting yourself is working with that little voice, accepting that's how your fears are manifesting right now.
Hey, I could get that job.
Or by surrounding yourself with people who will take up the chorus when your own little voice just isn't quite loud enough.
Take a few deep breaths.
Get prepared. Practice with a friend. I can help.
It's a risk, but it's worth it.
No matter how you decide to drown out that negative voice, mindfulness is the first step. In uncomfortable, anxiety-producing situations, it helps to get in touch with your body. Notice what's happening. Breathe in the butterflies. Doing so may help them to flit away or help you get in touch with why they're there. All of this, mindfulness, connecting with yourself, helps you to create your own internal support system.
When you are present and you're actively connected to yourself and you've learned how to truly support yourself, it's amazing the stuff that can bring a smile to your face. The ability to notice and celebrate simple joys is another key to a life lived with a full heart. When my children were very young, I began collecting tiny vases because those little children would bring me tiny bouquets of flowers. The purple of the violets, accented by the whites of the clovers and the yellow of the dandelions. I loved them. And then, when the dandelions would go to seed, I would teach those little people how to make a wish on the white fluff and blow the seeds into the wind. My girls loved it. Make a wish, I'd say. We weren't ones for keeping a weed-free yard. I mean, after all, those weeds became my bouquets. Then one day, as we were walking home from the park, we passed by this house whose yard was completely infested with dandelions that had gone to seed. I mean, even I couldn't imagine letting my yard get to a state like that. My daughter stopped and stared. "Mama," she said, "I want to run through the field of wishes." Make a wish.
When I was younger, I wanted to be a chef. Well, one night I finally got the opportunity to cook dinner. After hours of cooking, I finally served dinner to my family and waited anxiously to see their reactions. My brother took a bite of the meatloaf and immediately spit it out. Soon, my other siblings followed. My mom patted my hand gently, saying, "While the flavors are good, you forgot to add egg. The loaf is rock hard." I was mortified, and after hours of relentless teasing from my siblings, my dreams of becoming a chef died that night. For years after, not only did I stop watching the Food Network, but I never cooked anything other than ramen. It wasn't until just last year that I got a job as a personal care assistant that I was required to cook meals for my clients. I was afraid. Would I mess up again? Would I kill them this time? There was only one way to find out. In time, I learned that not only did my clients love my cooking, but they were helpful in improving the dishes they didn't like. Now, I'm not so worried about my fears of messing up and of rejection, and I just enjoy making art. And now I love watching people enjoy the food I've made for them.
I know I could take a faster route, but growing up in a family affected by alcoholism, I developed an exaggerated sense of urgency and responsibility about pretty much everything. Well, then I began attending Al-Anon meetings and found out it's okay to stop and smell the roses. I no longer opt for the fastest route home. Now I enjoy driving home along a stretch of road that winds around the beautiful lake in the middle of my community. In spring, it's lush with budding trees and little crocuses. Summer brings sailboats, and oh, sailboats and all the races and people enjoying the little public beach. In the fall, the colors are brilliant. Winter brings quieter beauty, snow-covered trees, and that little village of fish houses out on the ice. What's 7 or 8 minutes when I can just soak in all of this beauty?
The depression I've lived with since I was a teenager sometimes makes it challenging for me to enjoy anything, let alone little things. In fact, for a long time, the only thing I enjoyed was laying in my bed, because my depression made my bed feel like the most heavenly place. I mean, look at the world. It can feel so thorny and unpleasant. Sometimes I struggle to stay out of bed because I know if I lay down, I'll want to spend all day hiding beneath the covers. I sing songs, write short stories, spend time with my friends and my family. And through struggling, I realized that that same joy that I get from laying in bed all day can be felt elsewhere if I just try hard enough. It can be felt when I complete a difficult task or share a laugh with a friend, or even feel the sun on my skin. Joys I'd never felt if I would have let my depression overcome me. I know that just getting up is the first step towards hanging on to those simple joys, and the first step towards happiness and healing.
Take a moment and think of 3 things that made you smile this past week. There's room in your participant guide to write them down. Go ahead and write them down. 3 things that made you smile.
Of course, once you are truly, joyfully there with yourself, you can truly be there with others. Connection with others is essential to a happy life.
For me, creating loving relationships has a lot to do with how we make contact. And by contact, I mean being present. People respond so much better when you are really present with them. They love it.
Wired to be connected with others. It is built into us, our whole being. I think that one of the biggest turning points, even in someone who's depressed, is to be able to connect in more meaningful ways with others. Cultivating a good heart and really creating deep connections with others and with yourself is just crucial for genuine happiness.
What does cultivating a good heart and creating deep connections look like? In short, cultivating a good heart means being kind and treating others as we would like to be treated. Good-hearted folks express keen interest in others, asking questions about what matters to them and listening deeply. They treat others with respect. They are free of judgment. They allow others to hold differing opinions and positions. They accept people for who they are.
We moved around a lot. I became, I had a dark side, troublemaker side. One day I woke up and I realized, wow, I am not doing the right thing. I am not who I'm supposed to be. So I moved. And I started a new life. I stopped abusing alcohol and other drugs. I learned to trade. I began exercising every day. I fell in love. Today, I own my own business and I have a wife and 2 kids. I think that happy people probably tend to be more resilient because life is throwing a lot of crap at you all the time.
Resilience. I like that.
And resilience is essential to another building block for a happy life. Taking risks!
That is right. Happy people take risks. Yeah, they don't always turn out, but hey, that's what resilience is for, right? Folks in the audience, in your participant guides, there's a section on risks. You may have written 1 or 2 or maybe 3 down in that section. Yell them out at any time. You'll see what I mean. You guys ready?
Yes! We still haven't talked about, pardon my French, but shit happens.
Yeah, life isn't always easy. But when life is hard, does that mean that we can't be happy?
I think bad things still happen to happy people, but happy people have found a way to bounce back.
It's called resilience. When I was 13, my mom passed away. I found her on the kitchen floor. It was Christmas vacation, 1980. My brother and I had just come back from sledding, and there she was, dead on the kitchen floor, making dinner for us.
There is a section in your participant guide where you may have written a risk that you have taken, or 2, or 3. Just feel free to yell them out at any time. You'll see what I mean. You guys ready?
Yes!
I went to a Fringe show!
Yes! I auditioned.
Yes!
I quit my job.
Yes!
I had children.
Yes!
I got retired.
Yes!
I traveled by myself.
Yes!
I showed up at her door.
Yes!
I talked about race with white people.
Yes!
I asked a question.
Yes!
I wrote a book.
Yes!
I went on a date!
Yes!
Got a new job.
Yes!
Sang with a stranger.
Yes!
I canceled the date!
Yes!
So, we've covered building a foundation, cultivating mindfulness, connecting with yourself and others, finding and celebrating the simple joys, taking risks, and increasing and maintaining resilience. That's a lot.
Yup. And we're coming up on the end of this experience. At the end of a show, it's customary for the cast to come out and take a bow, and for you to clap. At its heart, this custom is an expression of gratitude, and gratitude is essential to full heart living.
Oh, but this isn't a customary show, so we're not going to do that clapping thing. Well, at least not yet.
Instead, we would like to start by being a little bit more intentional and purposeful with our expressions of gratitude.
Oh. Patty, what are you grateful for in this moment?
In this moment, I'm grateful that my sister could come and that my teacher and my friends are here, so I'm excited. Erica, what are you grateful for in this moment?
In this moment, I am grateful for the friendships that I made through this process. Lynn, in this moment, what are you grateful for?
In this moment, I am grateful for a super supportive family and friends who are here tonight. Michael, what are you grateful for in this moment?
In this moment, I am super grateful for chosen family. All right. So in your participant guide, there is a section that you can write down some things that you might be grateful for. Is anyone in the audience willing to share what they're grateful for in this moment? Yes, what's your name?
Amy.
Amy, what are you grateful for?
I've had health issues for 6 months now, and I've had the past 5 meals I've had no health issues with. That's what I'm grateful for.
That's awesome. Anybody else willing to share?
In this great play, I'm also really grateful for this lady who I've never met until tonight, but she has been radiating positive energy the entire time, and I'm grateful to be sitting next to
Fringe! It builds community.
It's worth pointing out that that's Gretchen you're sitting next to, who actually happens to be one of the subjects in the book. See why I chose Gretchen to be in the book?
Yay! All right, thank you so much for coming, everybody, and thank you for participating. That takes guts.
We had in the creation of this piece tonight was the fact that, as we all know, over the past few months, there have been some horrific events, globally, nationally, and far too locally. And we paused at one point, saying, are we doing a disservice to the truth of what's out there? Are we ignoring it? Are we not doing enough for the world? And this really, really caused me to pause and think very, very, very deeply. And suddenly I remembered the words of my subjects in my book. And actually the reason that I chose the title that I ended up with. Think about it, full heart living. What does that mean? Living with a full heart. Sometimes the heart is glad. Sometimes the heart is anything but glad. And my participants told me that they do something that they believe other people maybe don't do as much. When their heart is not glad, they don't ignore it, they don't gloss over it, they don't pretend it's not there. They open their heart further. They stay with it. They follow their heart, whatever direction it's going. And they use what comes up to motivate them to do the good work that needs to be done to repair these awful things in the world. So to me, we need this work more than ever. There's no evidence that happier people endure fewer hardships than the rest of us. It's all in how they handle it. Happier people, in fact, do more good deeds. So I hope you might be motivated tonight by what you've seen to do one very, very simple thing to lead you on that path, to help you do the work that you're called to do at this time and on this plane. Maybe you'll start noticing the happier people in your life like I started to do 5 years ago. Maybe you'll start to ask them questions. Who knows? Maybe you'll interview them. Maybe you'll tell them what makes you happier. And maybe, just like me, that will help you feel a lot happier. So, to help you put all this together, we want to do a little bit of a review. So I wondered if people would just call out, one at a time, the idea or the concept or the theme from what we do. People do this way more than less happier people. They are grateful, and it reinforces their happiness. Anything else?
Taking risks.
Taking risks. There's some people who believe happier people are just luckier. And the truth is, this has been researched. And they appear luckier because they do take more chances. So statistically speaking, it pays off more.
Mindfulness.
Yes, mindfulness. People who are not as happy miss so many moments because they're not in their moment. Right? So great things are happening, but their mind is somewhere else. Maybe they're thinking about a memory, or maybe they're worried about something that's to come. If we stay in the present moment, we miss less, and we're happier, generally speaking. What else?
Cultivating resilience.
Resilience, huge, huge. Bouncing back from life's hard times. Speaking of which, it seems to be born into some people, but it's actually a skill and a set of skills that can and are learned. One or two more.
Connection.
Connection to
Others.
to other people
And to yourself.
and to yourself. That's the number one thing that I found in these interviews. Happier people make the most of their relationships. They know how essential that is. So if you'll take a minute now, take another look at your participant guide just very, very quickly. There's a section at the very end where you can write a simple thing, an action step. Sarah in the booth, I want to thank our donors. I want to thank you. You have been an amazing audience. Oh! We want to give away some things first. Ooh. We're going to give away some things. So pull out that little red raffle ticket. First, the shirts, and then a copy of the book. And the first winner of one shirt is
033267.
Anyone have 267s? 267.
The last number I can't see.
That's
probably
yours.
you.
I'm sure it's yours. Let's hear it for our winner. Can't see the last number. I'm forgetful tonight.
Aren't you forgetting something else?
Eric, we only have 15 minutes. We really have to wrap it up. All we can do is give them like a basic overview, and they'll have to do the rest on their own.
This is essential.
What?
How can we do a show about happiness without music and dancing?
You're right. How can we do a show about happiness without music and dancing? Sarah, cue the music!
So you guys just got done at Full Heart Living Live. It was the closing show. What did you guys think of it?
You know, I thought it was such a simple and true message, and it's something that could be reformulated and taken to schools and churches. It's just really fun and true, just fun.
Yeah, what I got out of it is that these are tools that people can use in their life, and that happy people use these tools to make their life happy. And it's just not a luck something they're lucky or they're really blessed. It's just really tools that they have developed from this book or from their lives.
What did you find most inspirational about the show tonight?
I was really excited by the idea that I could use this. I'm a special ed teacher in middle school, and I was really excited about the possibility of being able to use this to help my students. A lot of my students have had a lot of things to overcome in life, and their disabilities being one of them. And I think this is a good framework to help them to be happy.
My name is Nancy Anderson. I am in a psychotherapist consultation group with Tom, and we talk about the topics that came up in the boot camp presentation. We talk about a lot in our group. And what I loved about this is how it's something that I think we know is true, but it was so simply put, was how happiness is a verb. It isn't a noun. It isn't something that just sort of drops in our lap and then we get it. It comes to us somehow by just pure chance. It's something that we actively work with and toward. And what I loved about this was how a lot of very complex, what do we say? This is simple, but it's not always so easy. So,
what did you think about the show?
It was amazing. My cheeks were hurting because we were like smiling so much, and it was crazy because I was like laughing with this girl that was sitting next to me, and she was just like radiating this positive energy. So there was a point where the play asked, what are we grateful for? And I spoke up and said I was grateful for her. And then he told me she was in the book, and she was one of the people that he wrote about, and her name is Gretchen. Her name is Gretchen. So I'm so grateful to have met Gretchen, and this play was amazing, and congrats. That's what I got.